Imagine waking up every day feeling discouraged, stuck in a job you hate. This is a reality for many people who feel undervalued and suffocated. To escape this situation, many decide to quit their jobs and start their own businesses, dreaming that entrepreneurship is a direct path to freedom and financial success. But what if I tell you that this isn't true? That this vision is more of a fantasy than a reality? That's why, before diving headfirst into your entrepreneurial journey, you must know the 5 essential truths about having your own business. They will certainly help you face the reality of entrepreneurship and avoid pitfalls and myths about being your boss. Trust me. The 5 truths about entrepreneurship that we are going to show here were said by the famous entrepreneur Mark Tilbury, a successful millionaire professional who is very renowned all over the world. And by knowing these truths, you can be sure that you will have a much more solid and real foundation to do business as an entrepreneur. So let's go. 1. Eliminate the illusion of easy success. Most people start a business believing that everything depends on having the perfect idea. So many believe that all it takes is that moment of inspiration, and that's it. Success will come automatically. After all, who has never seen news like build $1 million business in 30 days or from employee to boss? These stories may even be real, but they are rare and hide the many challenges faced before success. But why does this illusion persist? Simple. Selling the idea of easy success is extremely profitable. So instead of getting carried away by these fantasies, accept that failure is part of the process and that it will take much more than a good idea to achieve success in business. Therefore, this reality check is one of the first steps to mentally prepare yourself. If you don't do this, you may end up falling into a trap that will make you give up on the first obstacle. 2. Evaluate the impact of friends on your success. Mark Tilbury says that when he started his first business, he spent every second of his day working to grow it. He was so focused that he didn't even realize how lonely he felt. And the truth is that the entrepreneurial journey can indeed be lonely. And as you progress, your social circles also change. So it's inevitable that as you grow, some friends who don't share the same values or vision as you will start to drift away. Losing friends is painful, but it's often part of the process. So, instead of feeling guilty, seek new connections with people who share your ambition. Having a co-founder, for example, is a great way to find someone who is in the same boat, someone with whom you can share the challenges and victories. However, choose these people carefully, because they are people you will spend more time with than with your own family. Another valuable tip: join communities focused on entrepreneurs. Nowadays, the internet makes it easy to access forums and groups where you can exchange ideas and get support from people who are on the same journey. These connections can make all the difference when the road seems more difficult. 3. Re-evaluate the value you place on money. Mark Tilbury gives an example of his friend Daniel, a talented salesman, but who had difficulty closing big deals because he himself valued money too much. As a result, his clients noticed his discomfort, which led him to lose several sales. His mentor then gave him some advice: carry $1,000 in cash in his pocket every day. At first, he thought it was strange that carrying $1,000 in his pocket was a lot of money. But by doing this, with all that money in his pocket, Daniel began to see money in a natural and accessible way. Thus, he understood that money is something common. In other words, that money is a tool and not something unattainable. With that in mind, if you are used to seeing money as something rare and difficult to earn, it is time to reevaluate that view. To be successful as an entrepreneur, you need to understand that there is a lot of money available and not be afraid to invest it to make your business grow. Money in this case is not an end, but a means. And by seeing money as a tool, you will be more willing to use it strategically, whether it is to hire, improve processes, or acquire new products, for example. So don't be afraid to invest money in your business, but do it in a planned, coherent, and intelligent way. And out of curiosity, how do you see money in your life? Write here in the comments so we can know. 4. Maximize efficiency with systems and processes. Most entrepreneurs feel overwhelmed by the number of decisions and daily tasks that arise when running a business, and it is easy to get lost amid so many obligations. Therefore, if you do not have a system or tools to manage it, chaos is inevitable. To avoid this scenario, implement systems and processes from the beginning. Think of it as an instruction manual for your business, which you can follow even if you do not know the details of your business. These systems not only reduce stress, but also make the business more organized, increase productivity, and even become attractive to potential buyers in the future. After all, a buyer wants to know that there is a solid structure in place where he or she can easily understand how everything operates. For example, imagine that your business grows and you decide to hire new employees. Thus, having well-defined processes allows them to adapt quickly and minimizes the risk of errors. More than that, these processes allow you to delegate tasks without having to get involved in every little detail, freeing up time to focus on larger strategies. At the same time, implementing systems and processes may seem like an investment of time and money at first, but believe me, it is one of the best ways to keep your business healthy and efficient in the long run. 5. Build a team. Many new entrepreneurs believe they can do it all on their own, but true growth begins when you admit that you need a team to scale your business. After all, trying to do everything on your own is a surefire recipe for burnout and fatigue, and it can end up sabotaging your progress. Keep in mind that building an effective team is like creating a pack that helps you face challenges and share responsibilities. So, hiring your first employee can be daunting, but think about how it can free up your time so you can focus on more strategic areas, to focus on what matters. And a key point here is that you shouldn't look for people who are a replica of you. Instead, look for professionals who are experts in areas that you are not as good at. By hiring people with complementary skills, you take your business to the next level and increase your chances of success. For example, if you are great at sales, it might be a good idea to hire someone with expertise in operations or finance. The stronger and more diverse your team is, the greater your business's ability to thrive, even in the face of adversity. And on that note, keep in mind that entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, but it can be the best choice you've ever made. Starting a business isn't for everyone, and that's okay. The pressure is constant, the challenges are many, and success takes time, much longer than many stories we see on social media. But if you feel a genuine desire for independence and to build something of your own, if you're truly prepared for the ups and downs, then starting a business can be the best decision you've ever made. Keep in mind that the key to being a successful entrepreneur is to mentally prepare yourself for the road ahead. At the same time, be realistic. Know that failure is part of the game and that you'll probably go through tough times. But with resilience, a support network, well-structured systems, and a reliable team, the path can be challenging but also immensely rewarding. Remember, if you decide to move forward, do so with your eyes open and your feet on the ground. Go ahead, but always be prepared to adapt, learn, and grow with each step of the process. But for your entrepreneurial journey to move in the right direction and be successful for a long time, it is very important to first discover and know exactly what your professional purpose is. This is essential for you to be motivated every day and work with what you really like, which makes sense for your life. So, if you want to understand how to discover your true professional purpose, write professional purpose in the comments. We'll be happy to develop a video on this topic for you. And just to recap what we talked about here, eliminate the illusion of easy success. Evaluate the impact of friends on your success. Reevaluate the value you place on money. Maximize efficiency with systems and processes. Build a team.
We hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to know more about how to set up and manage your own business, visit our YouTube channel where we have several videos about this subject, and if you liked it, share this video with your friends and family to help them too. Thanks and see you next time.